Back in the 60s, some girls thought Mick Jagger was cute. Some thought he was homely. Some thought he was so homely that he was cute. Well, whatever you think of the Rolling Stones lead singer, the same can be said for the Nissan Juke. I thought it was cute, but when I asked my photographer to get some beauty shots of the Juke in my driveway, he came back inside and said, getting a beauty shot of the Juke is an oxymoron.
You're going to notice that it has a very unique design. Some people call it bulldogish, some people call it sporty and crossover, but in reality, it's a very strong masculine look to the vehicle. Another thing that's very unique in this vehicle are the running, park, and turn lamps, which are part of the fender structure itself. Normally, they're integrated somewhere down in the fascia, but for us, we wanted to make it part of the design element of the vehicle.
The Nissan Juke definitely doesn't look like anything else on the road, either on the outside or the inside. While driving through Manhattan, there were a decent amount of people who pointed and smiled, but as my photographer pointed out, it was hard to tell if they were laughing at us or with us, but whatever. The Juke had several surprises under its funky outfit. The turbocharged four-cylinder engine turned out 188 horsepower and 177 pound-feet of torque. The Turbo Juke will get you from 0 to 60 in around 7.5 seconds. But while the Nissan Juke is peppy and its looks are polarizing, it won't punish you at the pump. The Mighty Mite gets 25 miles per gallon in the city and 30 on the highway. Those are EPA estimates, but I'm not sure how the Environmental Protection Agency tests a car with what I call a dial-a-ride system. The Juke has a bunch of different settings, from normal to sports and eco. Those settings change the throttle, transmission, and steering response.
One of the other, of which I'll call a couple of very important selling points of this vehicle, is what we refer to as the vectoring all-wheel drive system. This system, and it's the first application in a vehicle below a C-class kind of vehicle, we have rear vectoring, which means that not only does the all-wheel drive system vector front to rear, it also vectors left to right. And what that does for you is as you're turning, for example, if you were turning left, the outboard rear wheel would actually increase the amount of torque applied to that wheel and push you through that curve. What that does is it improves the understeering performance of the vehicle and really gives you great cornering ability in the car.
Additionally, the all-wheel drive system can be switched off and the Juke can operate as a front-wheel drive vehicle, presumably to save gas. It does have a place to plug in your iPod and a really cool soft place to put it, but it's not very big. I don't know what to do about the cord. And the center console doesn't have a cover. It's supposed to look like a motorcycle or something like that. I guess I get it. But there still wasn't a lot of room for even the iPod Touch. Speaking of touches, this visor over the gauges was cool looking, but seemed like it should flip down or do something more than just make the gauges more visible in bright sunlight. At 6'1", I thought the headroom was a little tight, but that could have had something to do with having both manual seats and a sunroof. Power seats usually allow you to raise or lower them, thereby affecting the headroom and seating position. But, unfortunately, they're not available on the Juke. Additionally, sunroofs usually cut down on headroom. It's a pretty small car. It's actually about 3 inches shorter than the Volkswagen Golf. The Nissan Juke SL all-wheel drive CVT starts at $24,500. In case you don't know, CVT stands for Continuously Variable Transmission. Instead of traditional gears, it's sort of a series of belts, so you never really feel the car shifting. Options on our test car included aluminum kick plates for $280 and a $1,300 sport package, which included a rear spoiler and 17-inch gunmetal wheels and a stainless steel exhaust. The total price as tested was a little over $27,000. I'm Grant Winter reporting for Real World Test Drive.